Okay, so I decided sort of midway to change the topic, and it is it is a learning along the way. And what I'd like to talk about is what has been inspiring me along the way in my practice, and hopefully what can inspire you in your practice. So I mentioned during the meditation that thinking of the good qualities of the Buddha is a means to bring up joy in the meditation. So I'd like to expand upon that during this talk. So the Buddha taught for over 40 years, I think, of his life. And he had the option of just remaining like a Pacceka Buddha. They do a little bit of teaching, but their main focus, they're fully enlightened, but their main focus is their practice. So they would go into into the forest or a cave and meditate, basically. So they've done all the hard work. And they weren't really interested in teaching. But our Lord Buddha taught for a number of decades, actually. And he had the option to do the same as these other Buddhas as well. But out of compassion for us, and seeing that the suffering that he had gone through, he wanted to impart that information for us, so that we can work our way through the sufferings that we have in our lives. So that to me is amazing, because if it was me, I would have probably taken the second option, go somewhere quiet and just until I died, just be in bliss, basically. That really inspires me. Now I'd like to just mention a couple of instances in his life, which describes his character and which can be sources of inspiration for us. There's an instance where there was a very sick monk, and I think he had dysentery in a mess. One of these monks who lived in community but really did not mix with the other monks. And he became really sick, and so the other, his fellow monks thought, well, this monk doesn't do anything for us, why should we look after him? So the Buddha happened to be visiting this place where this monk resided, and saw this monk lying in his own filth, and Venerable Ananda was with him, and he asked Venerable Ananda, why isn't anyone looking after this monk? He's extremely sick, he's lying in his own filth. What's happening here? And so anyway, he asked Venerable Ananda to go and boil up some water and get some cloth together and cleaned up this monk. This is our Buddha, right? Out of compassion to see someone who's suffering, cleaned him up. And he called all the monks and gave them a teaching saying, you left the home life, you don't have a mother and father. If you don't look after each other, who's going to look after you? So he decreed that, yes, when there is a sick monk, nun, in a monastery, it is our duty to look after them. Not only inspiring, but also very, very compassionate thing to teach and lead by example. This is a more lighter example. The Buddha, when he visited, when he was in his own monastery, he used to walk around, and he cared so much about the monks. He would, when he sees a monk that's actually, mending his robes, he would say, "Well done. You're looking after the requisites that's been hard earned by the lay people and offered to you, and you're looking after those things." He also reprimanded monks. Maybe they weren't keeping their dwellings clean. This is a requirement. This is one of our rules. We are required to look after the dwellings that we live in, not only our robes. And on a bigger scale, he, out of compassion, dissolved, conflicts or wars that were happening at that time, avoided blood being shed. And the teachings he gave, and Ajahn Brahmali would say, in the history of all the other spiritual leaders, it is the most comprehensive, well written, with such care, so that we can we have access to that Dhamma even now, to read, to understand, and to apply in our lives. So those are some of the examples of some incidences that the Buddha has inspired me. Now I'd like to talk about some of my teachers, and I'll start with Ajahn Brahm, because Ajahn Brahm, I'm giving this talk to commemorate your 50th monk anniversary, and I haven't had a lot of contact with Ajahn Brahm. I mean, as you would know, he's very busy. He spends a lot of time with the different monasteries and overseas and all of you. But the times that two instances that I'd like to mention that will remain in my mind for a long time is. I remember I wrote him an email just clarifying some teaching, and he responded. Not only did he have his own explanation, but he said, "Refer to this book that I've written, this chapter, read up on it," and that showed me how much he cares. I'm just a little old nun, he took the time to actually, it was almost a short paragraph worth of trying to explain the question that I asked. The next is, I can remember being on retreat, a 9-day retreat with him at Jhana Grove, and this is something I will remember, especially when I'm feeling sad or going through a difficult time, and I think the morning meditation had finished, and the nuns were just walking out. He was still sitting up on the stage, and I was just looking at him. He's sitting there meditating, and thinking, he's really peaceful and looking really peaceful. And he just opened his eyes and gave this such a beautiful smile. And I think I must have been, woke up, feeling bit grumpy or something that morning. And it's something that I will even remember, even when one day when he's not here. Little things like that just stays in your heart and your mind. And I've seen him he's opened a door for me, going into the mid hall at Jhana Grove, and he does that even, for the Anagarikas at Bodhinyana. And I think once after the end of the retreat, went over on a Sunday to get our lunch, or it could have been another instance, but he must have taken a donut or something for dessert, and he put a piece of donut in my arms bowl. So he's very caring and sharing his food out of his own bowl. One of the monks has mentioned that in the early days they used to go by car to the post office, and there'd be an anagarika driving and a monk sitting next to him, and Ajahn Brahm would be the first one to just jump out of the car to go and get the mail. I mean, normally it's like the junior monk or the anagarika's duty to do that. But this is the enthusiasm that he has. Just getting things done. And another instance that was mentioned is about Ajahn Brahm's bricklaying capability. And once he had two junior monks, and they maybe they were having a break, but they were standing there talking about dependent origination and the nature of non-self, and there is Ajahn Brahm carefully laying bricks. Right? Was these two monks are having this conversation. So he leads by example. It really is such a inspiration. Gives his time to anyone, doesn't matter who it is. Showing someone who was, I think, building some water tanks or something at Bodhinyana a long time ago. A rough-looking fellow, just showing him, the way to the meditation hall so that he can experience peace. So little acts like that. I'm sure that he has touched all of you in so many ways in your own lives as well. And now I'll move to the female Sangha, starting with Ajahn Vayama. I never had the good fortune to meet her, but what I find inspiring about her is that she is the founder of Dhammasara. She started in a caravan, just a caravan, on her own, up on this hill. And basically, just to establish the support for the female Sangha, she did all the hard yards. Later on with Ayahasapanya and Ayaseri. One of the things that strikes me about her is that I was told that she wanted the lay people to know that the nuns were upholding the Vinaya, and they would go without breakfast, simply because people were just getting used to having nuns around, and they were bringing in the lunch dana, but breakfast it was difficult for people to bring in. And one of our rules is that we can't store food, we can't keep and store food. It has to be offered to us every morning. So they went without breakfast for a very long time. And we are not allowed to cook as well, so there's no cooking done, and it's something that she upheld, that the nuns did not cook until later on the Anagarikas, the 8 preceptors came in, and they could do some cooking and some the offering of the breakfast. She would have been an amazing person to know. She had an illness too, but I've been told that her practice was very, very strong, even till the very end, when she had some major health challenges. Ayahasapanya, who's the abbot of Dhammasara Monastery, one of the striking things I see about her is that the amount of time she spends with nuns who may be having difficulties. She has said many times her number one priority is to keep the nuns in robes, keep us practicing, and for that she gives up a lot of her time for that. The patience she has to listen to whatever issues that the nuns are having, or to explain points of Dhamma, is quite amazing, the energy she has. We are a growing community, though, so there's a few of us. And of course, during the monastic life, we're going to go through some crises at some point, and she's there for us. So it's a wonderful support for the nuns that are there. And my first teacher, Ayya Pekka, she leads Newbury Forest Monastery in Melbourne. What I find common with all these nuns and monks who have excellent, strong meditation practice is the amount of service they do. I've been told that Ayya Pekka in Melbourne works harder than your junior nun. I think I wouldn't be surprised if she's there until 10 o'clock, doing administrative work. Yet, her practice is also very strong. I think it's an example for all the nuns to follow, because surely there's a correlation between the strong practice and the amount of service that they're doing. I now like to talk about the laity, how you have inspired us, the monastics. And just to bring up a couple of examples, one of the most inspiring time for me is actually the end of the rains, where we have the Katina ceremony, and the day before, people come in and they put up the flags, they set up the tables, they put up the marquees, and they start cooking maybe the night before, or get up 4 o'clock in the morning to cook up a dish to bring to the monastery to offer. And the devotion that they have. I got the Katina robe last year, and I think the Singaporeans actually sponsored that, the Katina that year. And one of the nuns told me that she had tears in her eyes. They offer the robe with such devotion, and the tray that the robe is sitting on, beautifully decorated. And they do circumambulation of our meditation hall before coming in to offer the robe to be sold. And their devotion and love for the Sangha is just blows me away. So that's one instance. There's a Vietnamese couple that come to our monastery just about every Saturday morning. I don't know what time they wake up. I don't think they live that close by to Gijikanup. And they spend a number of hours actually cooking fresh food for us, breakfast for us, and offer it with a smile on their face. Yeah. And I mentioned at the very start, a lot of you are volunteers at BSWA or other organizations, and you all work as well. And that's also inspiring. This is time that you could use for relaxation at home after a busy week's work. But you choose to come and help out in so many ways, whether it's actually manning the computers and the live stream facilities, or cleaning up the place, upkeep of the gardens. So many things that you do, which I hope you use as inspiration and fuel for your own practice. I'm also inspired by the female and the male Sangha, our own nuns. We really try and upkeep the maintenance. A lot of the things we try and do ourselves at the monastery, and some of our nuns can operate a mini digger. They're up on the roofs, cleaning the roof gutters for our fire preparation. And we do all our own cleaning. I've done a lot of cleaning in my time too, toilets and meditation halls, mopping, cleaning, scrubbing. Of course, some of the nuns are well versed in the Vinaya, and they teach the Vinaya and do a little bit of teaching. Most of the teaching is done by the abbot, Ayya Hasapanya. We still, she gives us time so that we are strong and developed in our own practice before we commence on the teaching path. And then, of course, at the monks' monastery, they also build their own kutis as well, which is quite amazing. Meeting all the regulations and all those requirements, and then Ajahn Brahm has produced a number of good teaching monks. Even some of the younger monks are now going out there and leading the Armadale group, and sometimes they come here and do weekend retreats at Jhana Grove, and it's just a reflection on how good these teachers are in terms of the capabilities of the monks and the nuns. So I like to mention a small couple of incidents that have happened that has been quite quite inspiring and amazing, really. And we had a fire a number of years ago, and we were evacuated. In fact, we stayed for I think 1 week or so at Jhana Grove, because this particular fire actually burnt a lot of the houses, farms within Gijiganape area. And firefighters were called in, and smoke everywhere. It was quite a bad fire, actually. And I think some of the nuns even came here to Dhammaloka to reside, and Ayya Hasapanya was monitoring the fire situation from here. And the inspiring thing about that is that this particular fire actually came to the boundary of our property. At the end of it, what we saw was our property was untouched. apart from remnants of some ashes and some smoke, smell of smoke. And right at the boundary, some of the trees were burnt, right at the boundary. But it didn't, our property is over 500 acres. Not a single building, not a single tree, apart from the trees I mentioned, were affected by fire. Now, pretty sure that what's inspiring for me is that I would say that there's actually devas living on the property. They protected the place. When so many houses and farms got affected and had to be rebuilt, there was a major, I think, rebuilding exercise that went around our area. And again, another incident of a fire is the big crown fire at Bodhinyana that Ajahn Brahm talks about, where trees were exploding. That's how bad the fire was at Serpentine. And the firefighters were quite amazed. Again, I think they had one building that was affected by this fire. And when they came back after the fires were controlled, I think the senior fire officers was like shaking his head saying, how could this place have survived? Right? Ajahn Brahm himself thought, well, all the hard work that's been done, it's going to be gone, finished. The place is going to be rebuilt. But again, another instance that it seems like that where there are good monks and nuns practicing, there are these unseen beings that actually protect these places from harm. And that's a nice thing to know, because I know at Dhammasara, after an evening talk, I have maybe a 12-minute walk to my koti. My koti is in the forest from the complex. I have no fear. I know that nothing would harm me, and that sense of confidence, because you know that there's something there. It's and I would say that it's the level of sila that we are keeping, and even in your own life, even just keeping that 5 precepts is a form of protection for you. It'll protect you. I like to finish off by reading a couple of passages that has really inspired me, if that's agreeable to you all. And if you attend Ajahn Brahmali's sutta classes, this is one he mentions. Although this is Bhante Sujata's translation I'm using here. It's from a sutta called Ignorance, Anguttara 10.61. A very short passage from it. It's like when it rains heavily on a mountain top, and the water flows downhill to fill the hollows, crevices, and creeks. As they become full, they fill up the pools. The pools fill up the lakes fill up the streams, and the streams fill up the rivers. And as the rivers become full, they fill up the ocean. That's the fuel for the ocean, and that's how it's filled up. So our practice is like that, a little raindrop on top of a mountain, and it's nature that allows it to travel all the way down to the stream, to the big ocean. So if we have faith and confidence in ourselves and in the practice, slowly, without force, we too can make it to that great ocean, Nibbana. So keep on practicing and day by day, you're coming closer and closer, where you are becoming free from suffering. Well, this is actually from Sutta Nipata 5.19, and it's the way to the far shore. And this is by an elderly monk, and some of us here are getting on in years, and I thought I'll finish off by reading some excerpts from this little verse. All alone, the dispeller of darkness is splendid, a beacon, Gautama, vast in wisdom, Gautama, vast in intelligence. He is the one who taught me Dhamma, apparent in the present life, immediately effective, the untroubled, the end of craving, to which there is no compare. Why would you dwell apart from him, even for an hour, Pingaya, from Gautama, vast in wisdom, from Gautama, vast in intelligence? He is the one who taught you Dhamma, apparent in the present life, immediately effective, the untroubled, the end of craving, to which there is no compare. I never dwell apart from him, not even for an hour, Brahman, from Gautama, vast in wisdom, from Gautama, vast in intelligence. Being diligent, I see him in my mind's eye, day and night. I spend the night in homage to him, hence I think I dwell with him. My faith and joy and intent and mindfulness never stray from Gautama's teaching. I bow to whatever direction the one of vast wisdom heads. I am old and feeble, so my body cannot go there, but I always travel in my thoughts, for my mind, Brahman, is bound to him. Lying floundering in the mud, I drifted from island to island. Then I saw the Buddha, the undefiled, one who has crossed the flood. My confidence grows as I hear the word of the sage, the Buddha, with veil drawn back, so kind and eloquent. Unfaltering, unshakable, to that which there is no compare, for sure I will go there. I have no doubt of that. Remember me as one whose mind is made up. So I like to end here, Ajahn Brahm, and for you I gathered up a lot of courage here today to be up here, and just out of gratitude for you and your teachings, and to my own teacher, Ajahn Hasapanya, and to my parents. And I have finished a little bit early, but I'd like to open up to the flow. If there's any instances in your life that has inspired you on the path and helped you with your practice, if anyone would like to share.
Inspiration for us great inspiration for women, Venerable Jenti. And the Bhikkhuni Sangha, have gratitude for Ajahn Brahm for setting it up, his courage in the face of so much opposition to establish higher ordination for the nuns, and the great courage with which Ajahn Vayama and Aya Nirodha, they faced all that, and to see the nuns community grow, and to see all of you look so happy and radiant. So your virtue, as Ajahn Vayama always said, is an inspiration. So thank you.
Anyone else would like to share anything that's actually inspired you in your practice? I'd love to hear. Or any questions you may have.
They must all be enlightened.
Maybe that's what it is.
Can I just ask, according to Buddha's teaching, what is the way to deal with jealousy?
Okay.
Thank you.
Jealousy usually is can be a lack of happiness within ourselves, with what we can do, what we are capable of doing, discontent with ourselves, and doing a bit of loving kindness for yourself could remedy it. And also seeing that success in somebody else is actually is a source of happiness for us. If someone is doing well, it actually benefits us as well, their goodness. All of us have our strengths. And it's good to tap into that out of kindness for ourselves. So I hope that helps.
Sorry, how to deal with jealousy of people toward us. Thank you.
Sorry, that was how to deal with jealousy of people towards us.
Towards us. Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear the question. I think this is where compassion comes in, right? They want to be at a place where you're at, and it's difficult for them, and I think this is where you can maybe try and be friendly towards them, and maybe share some. It could be a skill or something that you have, some knowledge. Share it with them, but mostly compassion can be used for counteracting that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, Venerable. I would like to share one of Ajahn inspiring kindness I saw because of their dogs. Every weekend, he shared his sausage with that little dog. She's passed away now. I saw it in my eyes. He doesn't need to do that, but for his kindness, he shared with the dog. Every weekend, he did that. It's his kindness, not only for us, even for that little animals.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
So inspiring. Yeah.
Venerable, I came very late, only 50 minutes ago. Yeah, I just heard your last part and you were saying any questions, anything to share, benefit this thing. So I thought, not many people asking, so I just say, it's okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
In my journey in Buddhism, I've been going around, looking back, in circles, okay? In circles, So I come to talks, retreats, all these things, and I can't find the core, the thing, Till I got it, okay? I got it many years now, this is okay? And it's narrowed down to, we come here, okay? Suffering is to make ourselves peaceful. End of suffering, this Buddha's teaching, okay? So I narrowed it down to, whenever I have this disturbing feeling in me, this suffering, okay? So from there on, this thing, okay, I look at, first I calm myself down, and then my mind, I know the mind is for us. There's something happening, the phenomena, something at the thing, So knowing these three things, the mind, there's something happened not good, you're still harping on it, this thing. That's why you have this disturbing feeling, Knowing this thing, okay, you've already in control of the situation already. You just have to work on it, that's all. And I've been sort of, helped me a lot. Really helped me. You understand what I mean? Helped me a lot, this thing, okay? And lately, about a year or so, whenever there's a problem, I bring in equanimity. Equanimity, that is the highest jhana, and the highest 7 factors of enlightenment, bojjhangas, that's healing, this is okay. I bring that in, I bring in impermanence, no self, emptiness. Let go. And that helped a lot. And to me, I think this is like the real heart of the Buddha's teaching coming forward. The others all add-ons, you hear all this, add-ons, all these things. That's all I want to share.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? If not, we'll finish up. It's 1 minute to 5. Thank you all for being here and being so attentive. Hope my sharing has been of some benefit to you. And hope to see you at Dhammasara Monastery. Please come and visit us if you get a chance. And enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.